Hi everybody. So my friend Wigaholic said that y'all would really like some tips on how to change that darn part without it lifting. I mean, maybe I added the without it lifting part, maybe not. That's my thing though. I love to hair flip. I talk about it all the time. I have been a pro of like tapes or glues when needed to do that. Luckily, I have found some wigs that don't require that at all. You can hair flip and don't have to worry about any lifting at all. That lace doesn't go anywhere. There are a variety of different methods that you could do with that. This one, I just really like this hair, and obviously it's my own brand, so I'm not even gonna go there with this conversation. This is all about though, moving that part. That's what one of the things that Wigaholic gets a lot of questions on, and she knows that I love to talk about. So I'm happy to help. Thank you, sister. And I hope that this is helpful to some of you out there. So let's say that you start with the wig and it usually comes to you like this. And you're like, I'm not a mid part wearer. And you try and try to like put that over there, and then it just immediately goes and it just doesn't look natural. Or maybe you put it over there and it's like something about Mary and it stays up, and then you like spray it, but then it like goes back down. Well, first and foremost, did you wash and condition your new little sister? I mean, you don't necessarily have to wash and condition. That's my thing though. When I get new wigs myself, I like to wash and condition them with my shampoo and conditioner because it just makes it more like me. So that's my first thing. Wash and condition. The next thing is like right back up underneath that, how it dries. That is like huge. Drying can avoid heat in certain situations, and it really just helps the hair to lay how you want it to, or maybe to be more multi-directional. So you have just washed and conditioned sister here. She's all wet, you know, and she's ready to dry. Obviously try and towel dry her, if you will, and then you could hang her upside down. You could hang her on a hanger. There are a bunch of different contraptions that you can do. Somehow make little sister here dry upside down so that her hair goes like this, right? So that's going to be the first thing that helps, because like instead of having the hair on a model or like on a mannequin or something where it would just be drying however it's parted, you could part it. Obviously you could change the part that way very easily, but then it's going to dry mostly going like this, where if you're like me, you like to hair flip and you want your hair to be able to go in different, I mean, just like your normal hair. Your hair, you don't wake up in the morning, well, you might wake up in the morning and have hair like me, you know, crazy, but for the most part, it doesn't like get stuck in a direction. So for me, the key has been to dry it upside down, because then it's not parted at all. It's actually parted straight up. So that way, whenever you do go to move your part around, it's gonna be more freeform, and it will allow you to move it around a lot easier and not being set in one position. Now, another thing that you can do if you don't want to wash or dry, just get it wet. I guess I could just say that. You don't have to, you know, like actually condition and shampoo if you don't want to, but just get it wet and then do the upside down thing. If you really just aren't keen on that, you don't want to do the upside down thing, but you're like, I want to try something different, you could use heat tools. And or like all of these things could be done in combination with one another. Let's pretend my finger is a curling iron. You could, you know, lift the hair up and take your curling iron, and you could do a couple of different methods. One, you could just hold the hair up and back, and then take your curling iron barrel and just lightly, you know, go back and forth, so that way you're using some heat to kind of set that hair back. You could do the same thing over here, and it will just help the front perimeter. Like, do that to any of the areas that you really want to be able to move around. If you're not so concerned about the back, well then don't put any heat on there because it's not necessary, right? But any of the parts that you're really concerned about, just take that barrel. Or alternatively, what you could do is take a thin layer right here, and then take your curling iron and put it like this, and then wrap your hair kind of around it. Or if maybe you're going to be like curling the ends or something, so you're going to be using heat with them anyways, then maybe take your curling iron or your curling rod, and, you know, just as you're doing that, either, you know, put your ends in there if you're going to be curling it, and then make sure you go all the way up like that. Or after you've curled whatever section, then do that. Whatever you want to do. Or you could even wrap it around if you've got like a rod, or maybe even if you just have a standard curling iron, just wrap the hair around the barrel and it will help it to kind of get some more volume. And you could go all the way down. So those are all different ways that you can get that hair to like not only not be like matted straight down like how they usually come, but it will also help to give it some volume and then make it more multi-directional so you can flip it around however you want. I think that the biggest thing that makes hair look real is being able to change that part, and then also making note of the part and making sure that it's like ventilated ever so lightly so that it looks more realistic. Like this, none of this is my own hair. Yeah, my hair is under there. Just make sure that you pluck, or if you don't know how to pluck or you don't want to pluck, then buy one that, you know, from a company that you know already is known for having really good lace fronts already. And then also, if you like I do, a silk base or a silk parting section, which meets up to a lace front, it also is helpful to like, I didn't even do it. It just, my wigs just do it on purpose on their own now. They're trained. That the part like right here is where my normal like part is, but then the hair back here parts like zigzag. So if I were to like outline it with my little tart thing here, my eyelash thing, it would go So then breaking up that part so that it's not just like a straight line, because if you looked at your bio hair, if you have any, or pictures of your old bio hair, it probably wasn't like this. So I think, again, the biggest keys are going to be letting that hair dry upside down so that way it gets used to just like laying like that instead of getting used to laying down in a part, in any sort of part. Those would be my tips. So Annette Wigaholic, I hope that I was helpful to your peeps with this little video here. And thank you for the topic and for coming to me for it. I am probably going to be on a little bit of a hiatus for a little bit with like wig selling stuff, because I've got a lot in the works ahead, and a lot of them are like currently under production. And I'm also, you know, just like looking into some other things and like revamping the website and everything. So I may have occasionally some wigs to sell, like these two over here. Maybe I'll show you afterwards. So stay on this video if you want to see these new ones that I have. Although I'm very tempted to keep at least one for myself. So they may not be up for sale. But anything that does come up for sale, I will likely post in the Facebook group first before the website, because I'm trying to revamp the website and just kind of like revamp the brand and everything with like the launch of my new products. So thank you as always for your support and for watching. And Wigaholic Annette, I love you, sister. You have become such a really good friend to me outside of even this whole Eleanor Lucci thing. So thank you for putting this my way. I'm so glad that I met you. And I'm going to show you guys, I gotta put that down. I'm going to show you guys these new wigs that I got in case you are interested in them and I can get more just like them. So, okay, more to come. All right, so I probably should have actually, or could have done that last video using this wig as a super great example, because look at how it comes. So this is normally how you get a wig. It's just parted straight down the middle, and watch what happens when I try to change the part. It doesn't want to. It just wants to go right back how it's been trained, and I get it. It's been like that forever, and it's not real hair. I mean, it is real hair. It's not like growing out of a real scalp. Okay, so this is what happens though, and so you would have to train it. So if I weren't gonna resell this, which I'm probably not, because I really love this hair and how it turned out, then what I would do, and what I'm going to do, if I keep this of course, is I am going to wash it, like I said, and then I will use, if I need to, after, you know, drying upside down, then I'll put the hair up like that. But I don't like to do things like that to wigs that I sell. I say all this because every time you wash and condition hair, it's, you know, decreasing some of its life. I mean, these hairs, if treated well, can last forever anyways, but I don't know what's going to happen to that hair after I sell it to someone, and I don't want to add even like one more, you know, like people who are smokers and they're like, every puff off a cigarette is like 7 minutes off your life. I mean, that's what they used to scare us with when we were younger. I think it's probably true, because cigarettes are bad, y'all. That's how I feel with washing and drying and even using heat to style for pictures these wigs. More times than not, I will not do anything to them when I resell them, you know, like once they're ready to go, because it's not worth it to me to take any minutes off of their life for you all. This is one I just kind of wanted to show you. Maybe for sale. I don't know. I think I'm actually going to have to keep this one. But there's going to be another one I'm going to show you here in a second. But if you like this, I could probably redo this and have this redone, I should say, and get this again for you. So, yeah. Let me know if you love it. Okay, here is her sister. I'm gonna say her older sister. She is very similar in the cut and the length and the style, but the color is obviously still kind of like that ombre with some highlights down below. It's like more of like the darker version, you know, where the other one's more lighty, and like the highlights on this one is like the kind of the base tone of the other one. This isn't really a dark. It's definitely not like black or even a natural. It's more of a dark brunette. So it's like a chocolate brunette with like some caramel highlights, where the other one's more caramel with some even more caramel highlights. This one is a little bit too dark for my liking on myself, on my own skin tone and everything. I would feel like I would have to like tan like over time to look great with it. But if you like this, you think it might look lovely on you, and you're interested, this one will definitely be for sale. I just have not gotten to the point of being able to share it with anyone, because it's been crazy. Just life has just been crazy. And then of course trying to get the new brand and everything. So if you see this video and you like it and you know how to reach out to me, do so. Okay? I'll give you a price and let you know. All right. I really hope that you are all having a great day and time in life. And I feel real like hippie chic right now. I might just have to keep both of these. So I'm gonna like take us out here with like a Bye guys.